I think it's now well over a dozen since 2006. The first show I did here was Epic Proportions. I've had the best seat in the house for many of the shows as the videographer. Even if I'm not auditioning for the show, I know, well, I'm going to be involved to some extent because I'm going to get to know the cast and the crew and hopefully film the process and make that interesting. And that's been a good solid 2 years that we've been doing that now, and I love doing that. Just, you have no idea. How does it feel making the transition? Enticing, and I won't say frightening. No, it's an opportunity. That's what I'm trying to see it as, and frankly, as an honor. LCT is a nationally recognized organization, and so being given the opportunity to correct something on the main stage, that's not a small deal. I'm very excited and very pleased. I'm just hoping to create an environment for our cast that's a comfortable one and an exciting one, because it is an exciting show. Actually, today marks 1 day, or actually 1 year, since my father passed away. And he brought to productions that I had the chance to work with him, he always had what I called old school pizzazz. Was the best way I could describe sort of what he did. And actually, you, Mr. Parmenter, have some of that same quality of what I call, that's the best way I know how to describe it as old school pizzazz. In that theater is broad, it's fun, it's loud, it's passionate, and I'm hoping to bring some of that sense of fun, of when you look forward to coming to the rehearsal process rather than, oh, yeah, 6:30, gotta go to the theater tonight. No, you want to be here. And that's what I'm hoping to bring, is a sense, and I also hope that I can read the details of something just as well as he could, because he was a master at reading the details of a situation very carefully, and I'm hoping to bring some of that into this. And this show, with Christmas and Elves and Santa, it lends itself to old school pizzazz. So I'm excited about that. I had some experience in directing here, well, to an extent, with Camelot. I was actually assistant director for Camelot.
Yeah.
And
it
was
fun.
a different, yeah, it was fun. And it was a different energy in that the cast becomes your babies and you're rooting for them so badly. And it's a different kind of anxiety as opening night approaches and when you're watching every performance. And so that was kind of an education in that you're just, okay, here you go. I'm trusting you to do this. Now go do it. And of course they did. And with this, I guess, I hope to be seen as reasonable. I hope to be seen as informed. You know,
that's always the hope.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, I'm very confident, especially with this group. I'm very anxious to work with because it's an interesting mix of old and new. We've got actors who are very familiar to LCT audiences. J. Michael Hartigan, Tom Desjardins, and then we've got several people who are making their LCT debut. They've done things elsewhere, but never with us before. And so that's exciting, and to bring them in freshly and hopefully provide them a positive first experience here is something that I'm concerned about. One of the most interesting aspects of the script is that the younger elves have been here the longest. Basically, if you're a first-year elf, you're new here to the North Pole and you're learning, and as you gain experience, you grow younger. So we have the younger actors as authority and the older actors as newbies. And I'm really kind of intrigued, well, frankly, I don't think there'll be hardly anything funnier than watching someone like Michael Hartigan being basically at his most immature. As Woody. I think that's going to be probably very entertaining. But also with some of these young actors, notably, well, there's just so many. Faith Copeland, Abby LeClaire, Matthew Harrell. I have no doubt that they're going to be able to command the stage because they've got that sense of, here I am, listen to me. And so I have a lot of confidence they're going to be able to deliver the goods and be authoritative and what I find remarkable, at least within this facility, this organization, people have asked us, well, how, with that diversity of age, how do you guys get along? And I find that the youth who get involved here are remarkably mature and wise beyond their years. And there's never been really that much of an issue in terms of old and young having there be a conflict, you know. And so I'm excited. I don't anticipate any sort of issue there, because it's been my experience anyway up to this point that the mixture of old and new and people from every walk of life. I mean, when else are you going to get customer service reps and doctors and lawyers and high school students all fighting for the same goal, you know? And invariably, what they create together is wonderful. One thing I want to ingrain in the cast is that anything worth doing is worth doing well. And this definitely is worth doing well. It's a very strong script, and I think actually a very timely and healthy message is buried within this warm story that we have. We want to create this warm and inviting environment of the North Pole. But I think audiences are going to be struck by, and I think it will strike a chord with them, the message of giving and generosity that's buried within this story. And I think that's what people should come in knowing they're going to be treated that. Aside from a lot of wonderful Christmas music that we all know and love, there's going to be plenty of that, but there's a lot more to it than that, and I think audiences are going to be impressed.